If you want to be the kind of person that not only develops but retains great talent, then you want to inspire people to want to work with you.
Always believe you were born to win. It's your right to win. Claim it, frame it, 'cause you were.
We are all working in an environment where we have several generations that are working together. In some companies, you have the traditionalists, the boomers, the Xers, the millennials, and now the Zers, 5 generations in one place. And I believe that the last 10 years, certainly the last 5, have amplified the differences in those generations with respect to how we communicate, what the expectations are, and what table stakes are for any kind of work environment. One of the things that I've noticed is that table stakes for millennials and Zers and even younger Xers, transparency, inclusivity, and feedback. Now, if you're a boomer leader like me, you didn't have a lot of transparency as you were building your career. You certainly did not get a lot of feedback. In fact, many boomers and even older Xers were told, just keep your head down, work hard. If you don't get fired, that's how you know you're doing okay. But that kind of feedback or lack thereof in today's environment will never do. Millennials and Zers in particular thrive with feedback and frequent feedback, I would argue. So if you find yourself sitting in the leadership seat and you are a traditionalist or a boomer or an older Xer, you're now going to have to flex your muscle and make sure that you are intentional about giving that feedback. You must also be intentional about being prescriptive around the things that you want. You want to say, I am interested in you doing these 5 things. Now, you want to leave room for people to do them in a way that is consistent with how they are thinking about it, or leave them room to add their creativity or their innovation. But you must be prescriptive about the desired outcomes, because that's one of the nuances that I have also realized is important in today's work environment. When I first started my career over 30 years ago, someone could give you a directive. I'm looking for X. Go do this presentation book, or go look up those comps. And you had to kind of know what else they were looking for or what might be relevant. But in today's environment, you can't leave it that general. You have to say, I'm looking for a comparable company analysis, and I'd like to see sales. I'd like to see EBITDA. I'd like to see operating income or net income, for example. You want to be prescriptive about what you're looking for, but again, leave them room to execute in a way that might be efficient for them and how they might want to deliver it to you. I will tell you that communication in today's environment is critical, as well as the feedback. And every time you have someone in a different generation working for you, you want to be thoughtful about the feedback. You want to, first of all, compliment them on getting it to you in time. Second of all, you want to make sure that you have gone through it and you can identify what is correct and what could be done differently or what's not correct. Third, you might want to reward them with an opportunity to have even more responsibility and call it out. Feedback is critical in today's environment. If you are a traditionalist or a boomer, you have to get over the fact that you did not have a lot of feedback as you were building your career. And if you want to motivate and inspire and retain your best talent, you have to develop that muscle of delivering that feedback. Transparency is also important in this multi-generational world that we're working in. Again, if you're a boomer or a traditionalist, you didn't get a lot of transparency. You found out what was going on the day that it was being executed. But in today's environment, you need to bring people along as things are evolving, especially as you are deploying a strategy. That transparency will be critical and important to their motivation to deliver. And now lastly, let's talk about inspiration. If you want to be the kind of person that not only develops but retains great talent, then you want to inspire people to want to work with you. The organization is one thing, and that's one provocation for someone coming to work. But at the end of the day, in today's environment, millennials and Zers want to be inspired. You should ask yourself as a leader, why would someone want to work for me? Are they learning things? Am I exposing them to new opportunities? Is their portfolio of skills and experiences different every quarter? Now, that may be a little excessive, but I want you to think that way so that you are cognizant and intentional about creating those experiences for the people that are working with you. When people are inspired by the people they work for, then they will give you far more than the job description. Go get them.